guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's case I will be covering another true crime story. This is one that wasn't recommended, but it's just very interesting as it's about the youngest woman to be sentenced to death in the US. So before we get into today's case, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and also leave your suggestions for cases in the comment section down below. So without further ado, let's just get straight into today's case. Christa Gail Pike, who was born on the 10th of March 1976, is an American convicted murderer and the youngest woman to be sentenced to death in the US during the post-Vernon period. She was 20 when convicted of the torture murder of a classmate she committed at aged 18. Pike lived a troubled life and dropped out of high school. She joined the Job Corps, a government program aimed at helping low-income youth by offering vocational training and career skills, and attended the now closed Job Corps Center in Knoxville, Tennessee. Pike began dating a man a year her junior named Tadaro Ship. Together they developed interests in the occult and devil worship. Pike became jealous of 19-year-old Colleen Slemmer, who she thought was trying to steal her boyfriend from her. Friends of Slemmer denied the accusations. Along with friend Shadola Peterson, 18, Pike planned to lure Slemmer to an isolated abandoned steam plant near the University of Tennessee campus. On 12th of January 1995, Pike, Ship, Peterson and Slemmer signed out of the dormitory and proceeded to the woods, where Slemmer was told they wanted to make peace by offering her some marijuana. Upon arrival at the secluded location, Slemmer was attacked by Pike and the Ship while Peterson acted as lookout. According to later court testimony, for the next 30 minutes Slemmer was taunted, beaten and slashed, and a pentagram was carved in her chest. Finally, Pike smashed Slemmer's was not charged and